to Cairo and gave him over to the madrasas, the religious schools that gifted him with an Islamic education. His childhood was brutish and short. It was a natural progression to the camps where he learned the creed of the gun, memorized the verse of violence, and worshipped at the altar of rebellion. At 20, the Sheik found him. At 21, Michael Christian Montgomery ceased to exist. It was Abu Mohammed Said who swore the oath, accepted the mark, and joined Hijira. Skirting a convoy of carts piled high with Korean fabrics, Tibetan rugs, and Panasonic televisions still in their factory packaging, he walked past the Tikrim Mosque. A horn blared in his ear, loud, very loud, but from another universe altogether. Then he saw his destination, the gold letters emblazoned on a black field, Batia's gold and precious jewelry. Guards stood on either side of the doorway, Kalashnikovs to their chest. Said passed them without a glance. They were not there to protect jewelry, but cash, primarily U.S. dollars, and gold ingots. Batia's reputation as a jeweler might be suspect, but his trustworthiness as a hawaladar, or money broker, was unquestioned. Faizan Bhatia had long served the local smuggling community as its agent of choice. He was the only broker in the region able to handle the large sums that Abu Said required. In Arabic, hawala means to change, and in Hindu, trust. Put simply, it was the hawala broker's job to effect transfers of cash from one city to another. Some of his clients were traders, eager to repatriate their earnings after selling their haul in the bazaar. Others, simple folk wishing to send money home to loved ones in Karachi, Delhi, or Dubai. Both groups shared a distrust of the bureaucracy and paperwork demanded by the country's less-than-solvent banks. Bhatia, a fat Indian with a streak of gray in his hair, stood imperiously behind the counter. As Said approached, he eyed the customer's caked clothing and unwashed face with undisguised contempt. "I would like to make a transfer," Abu Said whispered when he was close enough to taste the man's breath. "It is a matter of some urgency." The Indian did not move. "The Sheik sent me." Faizan Bhatia's eyes flickered, but only for an instant. "Come this way." It was the most god-awful, frightening place she had ever been. Some parts of Jakarta came close. Jakarta with its garish slums, oppressive pollution, and packs of teenage muggers giggling with hostile intent. But here, the unremitting heat, the hostile stares, and worst of all, the burqa, draped over her head and shoulders, baking her like a Christmas goose. This topped it all. Her name was Sarah Churchill. Operational designation, Emerald, and through her black gauze veil she watched the target advance across the intersection. 2 days she'd been tracking him, up and down the mountain passes, a distance of 60 miles. Her feet were raw and blistered in their leather sandals, her legs fatigued beyond measure. A trio of Indian women clad in red and orange saris scurried across her path, and she mimicked their gait. The second-class shuffle, she called it. Head bent, shoulders hunched, eyes fixed to the ground like a dog that's been beaten too much. Drawing in her shoulders, Sarah made herself shrink beneath the full-length sari. Her horizons seemed to dwindle before her, and she bridled at her training. Blend in with your environment. The first rule of tradecraft taught at Fort Monkton, where all good little English boys and girls go to learn to be spies. Ever the prize pupil, she kept her back hunched and continued to hug the inside of the street. She was too tall. That was the problem. You didn't see many Pakistani women who stood 5 feet 9 inches in bare-stockinged feet. Her height came from her father, a 6 foot 4 inch Welshman. Her hair, a raven's black and cut to her shoulders, was her mother's gift, as were her Sierra brown eyes. Her earpiece crackled with static. "Primary still visual?" "He's gone into the store," she whispered. "Batia's gold and precious jewelry. It's the bloody hawala, all right. Time to call in the reinforcements." "Give us a GPS read." "Coming up." She found the global positioning device on her belt and hit the locate transmit button. Within a second, the stationary satellites that comprised the Central Intelligence Agency's proprietary GPS had established her exact latitude and longitude.